Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, today is the start of what I am calling Tahan Zoo. So this is going to be my Southeast Asia Animal Pack Zoo. So it's going to feature all the animals that are upcoming in the new DLC. Super, super thrilled about it. Uh, Not entirely certain what Tahan means. I know it's a Malaysian word. I found it by going on Google Maps, scrolling over to Malaysia, and looking at place names. It's apparently the name of a mountain in a national park there. So I figured that would work. If you do know what it means, hey, let me know in the comments. That'd be cool. Yeah, so this is uh this is gonna be an awesome pack coming up, I think. It's gonna be a load of fun. Looking forward to it, and yeah. So this is going to be a very tropical zoo, very lush, very overgrown, loosely basing it off of the Singapore Zoo. So it'd be really interesting to build this out. Been looking at a ton of reference of that. Beautiful, beautiful facility. Lovely animal collection. So that's gonna be, yeah, great to take some reference from there. So I'm going with a kind of a wood jungly theme for the entrance and kind of playing around with the roof, deciding exactly what look I want. I don't want to copy the Singapore Zoo entrance completely, I just want to base it off of it. I ended up going with the metal clad roofing because that one's recolorable and I tend to use it quite a bit because of that. It just looks really good. Yeah, changed the color to kind of an off-white. Looks real nice, good contrast there with the dark of the log walls. Building this out, I, I always end up building these massive, massive entrances that like take up half the park, but yeah, why not? Let's build a big entrance. So getting in our little ticket booth area here, using the flat wooden or flat metal clad floor pieces for the roof here, going a little bit off of the design at of the entrance at Woodland Park Zoo because I know everybody uses that. Well, it's a really good entrance. Is why it's really nice, modern, very, very pretty. So, this new pack that is coming out, I know there has been quite a little bit of controversy over it. Not only in the fact that are, we're not getting any kind of scenery, wall set, construction set pieces in it. Now, every other DLC that we've gotten, except for the Deluxe Animal Edition, which doesn't really count as a DLC, is has included some sort of scenery pieces. They've been getting less and less as the DLCs have gone on, unfortunately, but we've come to kind of expect this. Now, on the other hand, we've also been asking, hey, Frontier, can we have more than 4 habitat animals per, and maybe an exhibit animal per DLC? Well, they've gone ahead and done that, but the trade-off is it's an animal pack only, not a full. Well, that means it is a full DLC pack, but we're not getting any kind of construction pieces, which is kind of a shame. I was really, really hoping for Angkor Wat style, like temple building pieces, and because I do have that Lost Kingdom project going on, I am still working on that. I am actually going to continue in that again once I actually like resume playing the game and stop, spending every moment of my free time modding it, which has been just an utter blast. Yeah, that has been an adventure and a half. That has been learning the Cobra tools. That has been getting familiar with Blender again. That has been wanted this entrance to be a scene that you walk into out of the parking lot and you come in and you see this huge facade of the wall and the Tahan Zoo sign. Very colorful, very bright, and very, very, very lush. So all this around here on the edges is all going to be planter boxes. Big, full, just absolutely packed with foliage, filling them with mulch. I'm leaving the grass to kind of stick through a little bit because I think that kind of looks kind of nice. Adds a little bit, although you won't see it because I'm going to pack it full of plants. But just getting the mulch laid in here, these mulch pieces are just fabulous. I wish we had a brush that we could just paint this mulch texture on the ground with. like a terrain paintbrush. Just mulch. Doesn't have to be different colors for each biome. Just give me a mulch brush. And while you're at it, give me a pavement brush too. Like a light concrete and a dark asphalt brush. That's all I want. And maybe a tree painting brush like in Prehistoric Kingdom. But that's probably a little bit too much to ask. I don't know that the Planet Zoo engine would support something like that, but either way, a girl can hope. Hey, so getting these giant rhubarb plants in here, they're just wonderful to fill in that space like this. That's another thing with this. We're not getting any plants. We're not getting any new plants with this update, which is kind of a shame because, animals are awesome, and yeah, we want more of them. We always want more of them. Believe me, I'm a modder. I want more animals, and if Rolling Frontier and gotta give them to me, well, guess what? I'm going to put them in myself. But the true staying power of a DLC is not necessarily in the animals that it brings. It's really with the construction pieces. So think about like the Arctic DLC. I really don't use those animals all that much, but oh boy, do I use that weathered wood set. That's a lovely set. Those beams that came with it, those are so nice. I use them all the time. Same thing with the South America pack. Yeah, I'm probably going to put a jaguar in my zoo. I like jaguars. I like the big cats. I tend to put them in my zoos, but what I use most out of the South America pack is the recolorable wood beams. Those recolorable beams, the turquoise ones, fantastic. That and the recolorable temple set. Just so valuable. So, and we're not getting anything like that. And then with the Aquatic Pack also, what is the most memorable thing about that? It's not really the deep swimming. The deep swimming is cool. It's really the recolorable wood wall and the recolorable rocks. Those are the stars of the Aquatic Pack. And yeah, we just don't. We're just not getting anything like that with this. Now, it is specifically an animal pack, and what that means is it's meant to be just here are 8 awesome animals. Go ahead and play with them. Cool. I like that. But hopefully that's not going to be Frontier's only DLC model going forward. I don't expect that it is. What I expect to see is probably 1 to 2 of these animal packs a year, and then like 2 to 3 or 1 to 2 regular DLCs with like a full construction set, full scenery and all that good stuff, and then 1 DLC that introduces something like some big new mechanics, like the Aquatic Pack, for example. So, like a regular DLC would be something like the Arctic Pack, 5 animals, 4 habitat, 1 exhibit, and a scenery set. Cool, awesome. That had a lot of cool stuff in it. Something like a big DLC, I'm talking something like the Aquatic Pack, where it introduced the deep swimming mechanics. So we had, the 4 new animals, the habitat animal, the exhibit animal, the scenery pieces, and that new mechanic. So I think they're going to introduce, and this is just my hope, introduce a new mechanic like that in some kind of big DLC. Like, what does everybody want? Flying birds. We all want flying birds. That would be the big expansion, the big DLC of the year. Same thing with like new climbing mechanics, brachiating mechanics. A lot of folks really expected that if we got Southeast Asia's DLC, we would get a gibbon with it. Gibbons are noticeably absent from the Planet Zoo universe, but gibbons move in a way that it's their motion, the way they move through their climbing structure through the trees, is not a motion that is even remotely present in Planet Zoo at all. No current animal that we have in game brachiates. That would be a huge new mechanic to add to the game. And boy, let me tell you, the one thing we can't do with mods right now is add new animations. That's like the one thing we really can't do. There's some guys over in the modding Discord who are working on trying to figure out how, but it may not be something that we can actually do. That's possible. That's something, that type of new mechanic, new animations, anything like that, is what we really want to see in like a big Aquatic Pack style DLC. So give us that new deep swimming. Awesome. Now let's add that to a whole bunch of new animals. Give us flying birds. Let's add in new birds with every DLC or something like that. Or just give us a good assortment of bird rigs that we can then make our own with. Same thing with climbing. Let's revamp the climbing. Give us brachiators in our zoos, and then modders can take it from there. We need stuff like that. So yeah, that's my hope for what's coming up with the DLCs in the future. Yeah, hopefully it's not just going to be animal packs going forward. I think that would be a huge, huge mistake on Frontier's part, and I'm saying that as somebody who plays the game mostly for the animals. I mean, I don't play it for the management, but I play it to build, pretty habitats and watch the animals run around in them, because that's what I like. Yeah, as much as I love the animals that are coming up, I'm really kind of disappointed with the lack of, scenery and construction pieces. So, and, some other content creators have expressed the same thing. Like, yeah, the animals are gorgeous, but once I've built 2 or 3 habitats for each of them, it's kind of like, okay, what's next? Whereas a construction set, that has more life to it because you can do so much more with it. So yeah, I don't see that Frontier would continue with just this new DLC format because I think they would alienate so much of their player base if they did that. So hopefully they're not going to do that. Hopefully they're not just going to go, oh well, Planet Zoo's had a good run, we're just going to wind it down, here's a bunch of animals to play with, and you go do your thing. Hopefully that's not it. I want to see this game continue for, a couple more years. Be awesome. And then, Planet Zoo 2, if that would ever come around, that would be great too. I mean, look how long Zoo Tycoon 2 have lasted. They're still re fairly relevant games. I mean, not as much as they were, pre-Planet Zoo, but, they're still very much around. People are still playing them, people are still modding them. I want Planet Zoo to be the same way. So, yeah, that's me rambling about the future of Planet Zoo and the new DLC format. Starting to build out the gift shop and little restaurant here at the start. I always like to put in like a gift shop area, get some shops in. This is Sandbox. I'm not worried about like actually making money with this or anything because it's just, it's Sandbox. I turn the economy off completely. Yeah, I turn everything off. Guests can have limited money, maximize their happiness, just you know, that's assuming I even let guests in, but I still want the full kind of realistic zoo experience. And a lot of times you'll see there's always going to be a gift shop right near the entrance or usually near the exit too, because that's going to be the last stop on your way out the door. Your way out of the park, you're going to hit up the gift shop, you're going to buy something for, Timmy, take home. And if you don't, Timmy's going to throw a tantrum, so you better buy him something. And it's all right there in the windows, so you can't walk past it without seeing it. And then, a lot of places have either something you can grab something to eat. There's some restrooms at the front. Usually a little rental place. You can rent wheelchairs, scooters, anything like that. So I always like to add that in. I don't know if I'll go with the full rental shop thing, everything, but we'll see. So at this point, I'm actually just trying to. I'm not going to bother pathing in the gift shop fully. Just ran some just regular janky paths under, just no curb, just under the ground or on the ground, and then placed the those lovely sandstone block floors over it and hit it. That's really all you gotta do with the pathing in this game. Let it be its weird, janky, gap making pain in the butt self and just hide it. Just hide it completely. And if you do want to make a full plaza, you can do that using the align to grid feature. It's very, very powerful to do that, but for the most part, I mean, just ignore what the path does and hide it. So I want this to be really dense forested area, loads of big kapok trees, a very tall canopy, as dense as I can get it, and I will tell you, this is I've maybe gone a little bit overboard on the planting. I like to go overboard on the planting. If you've watched Wild Mountain Lodge, you know I like the landscaping. I like the gardening aspect of this game a lot. I love the foliage design. It's fun. Well, I'm already kind of making my brand new computer cry a little bit. It's alright. Just gonna let it be unhappy and listen to my CPU fan whine as I'm building this and recording. It's really the recording that's doing it. I'm gonna mess with the settings a little bit, see if I can take the do something about it just a little bit, but it's fine. I've got an 8-core processor. It's fine. I'm gonna replace my stock cooler though with an AIO at this point. I think it's time. Yeah, the Wraith Prism is okay. It's getting noisy though, so I'm gonna replace that. So I decided I wanted here at the front this windy kind of like tree tunnel path, but I also wanted it to go over the water. And if you've played Planet Zoo for more than 5 minutes, you know the paths in the water, they just don't play well together. Well, one of the tricks, a couple of the tricks to getting the path to go over the water, like I did right here, got that path to run straight over the water, just barely. Look at how tight that is. Make the water deeper and make the water lower from the path. Now, water, if it's as high, as full as it can go, it's going to obstruct the path. You're going to get that wonderful little red path that's obstructed by water volume that we all know and despise. If you put less water in, don't fill it quite as full, that won't happen. It'll still be annoying as hell, but it won't happen. And you can get stuff like this where it actually decides to work, and it worked really, really well. So I'm using these awesome archway pieces that I forget that they exist, but they're so neat, and they're actually recolorable, which I didn't realize until like right here. That yeah, these are actually completely recolorable. Make them any color, super functional. So I went ahead and like enclosed the entire path over the water in these archways, and they're a little janky in places. There's a little bit of weirdness there when it kind of turns the corners. There's some overlap. I'm just ignoring that. It looks fine. From the top, it looks really good, and then going further, actually going from the inside, it doesn't look too bad at all. And I'm going to cover all that up with foliage. This is going to be totally planted up right here. So I wanted to change the color of the path because I didn't like just the bare concrete path going through there. I went with the dark wood. I think that's from the Arctic Pack, actually. It's a really nice path piece, and I almost never use it. So I wanted to drape this thing up entirely in liana vines and Spanish moss, and then I remembered that we have wisteria. We have so much wisteria in this game, and it's awesome. So I thought, I'm just going to drape this thing in wisteria completely, and it's going to look amazing. And it actually really does, but I wanted to make sure that the flowers would hang down correctly, because unfortunately there's no physics on the flowers, they're just static, so if you put them at an angle, they kind of stick out weird. So I went with the wisteria fill pieces on the sides here, because they conform to the sides really nicely. You only have to manipulate them a little bit to get them to fit. And then going down the center of the tunnel using the horizontal wisteria to just drape the whole thing in purple flowers. And it starts to look really, really awesome. And this maybe is a little out of hand, just a little bit. But hey, it's Sandbox, and you know what? This is actually really, really fun. I've been spending so much time modding this game, making new animals. I've got 4 out right now. Should have a 5th coming out pretty quick here. That I haven't even been playing the game hardly at all. I've been just obsessed with making new critters. So getting in here and getting back into doing all this foliage work and all this foliage design again has been really, really fun. It's been really refreshing to like just enjoy the game again rather than like You're gonna actually visualize the actual game instead of visualizing it through a crap ton of files and databases and tools that I only halfway understand. So getting all the wisteria in here, want it really overgrown, really, really super lush. This entrance here where the tunnel connects to the building, just cramming it full of wisteria. And it's starting to come to life. I'm really starting to like it. It's looking really good. Now, gotta make it super, super lush and dense, and getting these water banana plants that came with the Aquatic Pack in either the Aquatic Pack or 1.4. Either way, they came with that update DLC combo. Fantastic. Get some strangler figs in there. The tamarind trees. I love, love, love this particular tamarind tree in particular. It's with the orange blossoms on it. It's just such a nice tree, and then it's got that acacia flatness to it where it makes this really nice low canopy over paths. I love it. One of my favorite tropical tree pieces in the game. So the tunnel is coming along. Want it to be really thick in here. It's like this jungle adventure that you're going through as you're coming in here. Walking through here, you can't really see out. The wisteria's dripping down. You're probably gonna get some bugs in your hair. So I should probably put a little sign out front. You will get a bug in your hair if you come in here. But that's how you have to enter the zoo. So now I'm putting in the big plaza. I want this really big plaza, and then off of this are going to be a couple of different habitats. One you can see right there is going to be the flamingo, the gharial, and then off to the right is going to be the first of the new DLC animals, which is the proboscis monkey. I'm building that habitat first because I gotta. Gotta play with the new animal first. It's gonna be super, super fun. I can't wait to get him in there. And actually, this video will be going live Sunday, which should be the day they do the screenshot reveal on the proboscis monkey. Now, we've already seen it in the trailer, and it looks spectacular. Like, it looks so good. So really kind of an interesting choice on that one. They're not well represented in captivity. They don't breed well in zoos. Now, the Singapore Zoo, which I'm loosely basing Tahan Zoo off of, does have a breeding population of proboscis monkeys, so quite cool. And been looking at photos of their exhibit in Singapore Zoo, and it's really, really nice. So I'm gonna end up trying to replicate that a little bit. One thing I noticed, I realized I didn't realize when I laid this out originally, they actually have underwater viewing a little bit in the proboscis. Okay, proboscis monkey habitat. I can't speak today. And yeah, I may try to incorporate that a little bit. Make some kind of glassed-in viewing area because apparently these monkeys swim, which would be really neat. We haven't had a swimming primate before in Planet Zoo, which will be really cool because most primates in the world they don't swim. The proboscis monkeys they do though, so that'll be cool. Very, very neat. So I want to put in just a little snack shop here on the edge of the plaza. Wanted to go with the that same kind of entrance style, but with that thatch roof. Make it kind of that, jungle adventure type feel. And then this structure over here is going to be a large bathrooms. Wanted this to look like maybe it's a little bit of an older facility. It's been here longer, so with the dry stone wall from the East Asia set, still one of my absolute favorite pieces. It's really, really, really lovely. Was really hoping to get this as a recolorable set, this dry stone wall, in this Southeast Asia pack, but we're not getting any scenery at all. Not even anything, just recolored. But that's all right. It's still going to be awesome, and yeah, I can't wait to actually like start putting the animals in here. So I am using a few workshop pieces, and I do, I have no qualms about using things that other people have built. If it's better than what I've built, I'm going to use it. And but credit where credit's due. So for the parking lot stuff, I'm using the road signs set by Paulsley, and really nice set. It is more British road signs, but you can totally tweak it to match American or wherever else you might be from. Another thing you might have seen just little glimpses of as I'm kind of spinning the camera around here are these weird circles that are all over my map. Those are size references habitat areas by Forumtastic. So what he has done is gone and, or they have done is gone and basically made circles and squares to match various habitat sizes ranging from 250 square meters all the way up to 3,000 square meters. So if you're like me and you have trouble seeing scale, yeah, it's fantastic. And then this piece right here, putting in is the Overgrown Moongate by Mary003. Really neat. I've had it in my Blueprints library for quite a while. Just haven't found a place to use it yet, but I found a place to use it. So yeah, that's going in. Loving it. Really neat. Planting it up, getting it really lush and dense around here. I want this corridor here through the trees to be just this super dense, overgrown, dark tunnel. And then I thought, why not stick some statues in here? Just this little space filler thing. So we get some elephant statues, stick a little cave-in statue in there, just various different, some of the bronzes and whatnot around. Might, once we get the 1.5 update and I actually unlock some of them, because I don't play career mode at all right now, get some of the new statues that are coming. So we are getting a little bit of scenery in the 1.5 update, which is the free update that's coming with the Southeast Asia Animal Pack. So those are going to be awesome. I'm actually going to have a reason to play career mode. Just never had a reason to before, but now I do. So I wanted to edge out these paths, get them looking really good with this rock edging. You know, some paths, they just don't mesh with the terrain paint that's next to them, so they need some kind of curb, but I rarely, if ever, like the default curb. For some reason, I use it a lot in my franchise, but I really don't use it in Sandbox. I always edge it out with rocks or logs or something else, you know, and it looks pretty good. You know, doesn't look too artificial, fits in the theme, and goes together really quickly as well with these stone pillar pieces that, or whatever they're called. Words are hard today, apparently. Yeah, just getting it really nice and planted. Wanted to get the benches and the bins in using these East Asia benches. The ones with red on them are recolorable, so yay, FlexiColor. Everything should be FlexiColor. Not everything is FlexiColor, but man, it should be. So getting lots of lighting in here. I wanted to just light this up just crazy bright. Tried to put in this one lantern here, but it's not FlexiColor, so I can't make it the same green as everything else. One thing when you're doing your lighting, to get it to where it looks really good, switch your game to nighttime. If you trying to light your game during the day, you can't really see what areas need to be lit, what areas should remain dark. Like for this this tunnel, wisteria tunnel, that needs to be lit up like a Christmas tree. Like that thing should glow from space. Closer to like an animal's habitat, for example, that's going to be pretty dark and dim. But like the entrance areas, the restaurant, the gift shop, the tunnel thing, the whole big entrance building needs to be lit up really bright, really nice. And that, to me, looks really, really good right there. Starting to see this kind of come together, get the little details in that really kind of make it come together as a whole piece here, and really kind of liking this entrance. I kind of ambivalent about my entrances sometimes, but this one turned out quite nice. Getting lighting in on the sign. Decided to sink the these New World path lights in and just light the heck out of this ticket booth area. Just make it super, super bright, like track lighting. Those little pieces, little lights work well for that, actually. Yeah. Coming along, getting the last canopies in, just getting all the details and everything. Like I said, I wanted this building here to be really, really well lit. Uh, use position snap and position snap rotation to snap your lights directly to each ceiling tile or each wall tile. If you want it really precise, use the tools that are available to you. It makes it look so much better. Thought I'd go ahead and just decorate up the interior here. Just whatever random signs that seemed like they would fit, just sticking them kind of everywhere. I'm going to leave the leaves that are clipping through the wall right there. I'm going to maybe do like a full planted wall. Maybe. I haven't quite decided on that. But we shall see. To adjust the floor there a little bit because it's kind of poking through the ground. Realized I had forgotten to do the gift shop. Now, the gift shop sets that I use are from the workshop. They are made by Skylala. It's called the Gift Shop Collection. I just love it. This is probably my most used workshop piece that I have ever downloaded. It's yeah, it pretty much goes in every single zoo that I build. I pretty much use the exact same ones too, and just set them up in little different places. So you got wall pieces, you got display cases, you got everything. It's so well put together. So why spend hours and hours and hours building something that somebody else has already made spectacularly? So I decided to try and address the staff entrance that I was trying to do over here. I first tried to take the water out. It wouldn't go back in because of the path, so the water is where it is. We'll just move the path around, the staff path around to make it behave. This is a staff area. It's not a show area. It doesn't have to be perfectly fancy. It just needs to be a little staff building that's got the trade center, the quarantine, the vet center, vet surgery, all that good stuff, and a little keep hut and staff room just to kind of get us set up so when we go to throw some animals in the next one, it'll be ready to go. So I almost forgot to do the roof on this. I'm kind of notorious for just leaving my buildings completely open to the elements and not doing a roof on them. But I remembered, got it in, got the door on. It's kind of cute. The path goes all the way through. So that's just our little staff administration building. It's got just about everything we'll need for a Sandbox Zoo. For franchise, I might spread that stuff out, have multiples of each building, closer to where some of the larger clusters of habitats are. But for it's Sandbox, I'm gonna turn welfare and disease and all that stuff off because I'm not playing with any of that. Breeding turned off, everything. And I might leave breeding on just for a little while because I want to see, what the sun bear and everything look like as babies. So, yeah, so this is Tahan Zoo. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please leave it a like, comment down below, let me know what you think. I think it's going to be great. I'm loving it already. My computer hates it, but hey, it can deal. Yeah, subscribe if you'd like to see more. I'm going to try. Next video will come out sometime on Tuesday after I have a chance to record it and get the proboscis monkey habitat built. At least hopefully it's going to come out Tuesday, possibly Wednesday, because I do work Tuesday evening. We'll see. I may be able to record it during the day, and then after work, do the editing and uploading onto YouTube. We shall see what happens with that. Yeah, super, super excited. Won't be able to make this a daily series. I wish I could. Just don't have the time in my life. I have to sleep at some point. If I didn't have to sleep, I certainly would, but I'm feeling good about this one. It's going to be a smaller zoo, it's going to be super fun, and I am looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one.